Question 148. Would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into your own future or 10 minutes of the future of anyone but yourself?
Oh.
10 minutes into my own future would be really dull.
10 minutes into the future of somebody else.
Why?
Well, 10 minutes into my own future might mean I see my own death, and that would suck.
But you can change it.
Right.
Can you?
Yes.
10 minutes into my own future would be...
Destination.
10 minutes into my own future, I'd probably be sitting there with my dick in my hands, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
The problem is, I think 10 minutes into your own future will make you go mad.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. And seeing 10 minutes into somebody else's future could save your life as well. Like, if you see they're going to kill you or whatever, yeah, just...
So do you see your own future every 10 minutes?
I think it would be like every time you closed your eyes,
This is a good question, actually. Is it a one-off
That's
effect?
what I
or
was
is it...
wondering. Is it a one-time deal, or is this going to reoccur?
It's reoccurring.
So every 10 minutes,
Oh.
it's 10 minutes
God,
into the future.
no.
Yes.
So it's not a one-off event.
No.
It's kind of annoying, isn't
I
it?
wouldn't want to see either one. It would drive me crazy either way.
What would it,
Still
if
not.
it's somebody else, would it be like you had to touch them or something?
I think we'll go with that. Because I think it makes for
I would
an easier.
like to
But
see
if I
somebody else-
touch someone, I could see 10 minutes into their future.
Yeah.
But what if I see them in bed with me? That would be really awkward.
You wear gloves.
That changes everything. No, see, if you see 10 minutes into the future every 10 minutes, you're seeing 10 minutes into the future. It's kind of torturing. I'd rather watch somebody go through that.
Although it might be easier to deal with bad dates because you can just you meet at the doors of where you're going. Just embrace the person slightly. See, in 10 minutes they'll be shouted at the waiter, and you go, "Oh fuck it."
Well, at least you wouldn't have a shitty day.
But what if in 10 minutes something? See, every 10 minutes you see 10 minutes into the future. That's what I'm.
Yes.
That's what. Yeah, that's.
Not if it's somebody else, though, Sal.
You got to be
If
touching
it's
them.
somebody else, you have to touch them.
Nerdy says, anybody else's future but mine. The funny thing is, I just saw Badger with something in his hands.
Nah.
So no one is going to choose 10 minutes into their own future.
No.
No, I think like for me, I care more about other people than I do myself anyway. So that's why I would choose it.
That's
If I could
because
see
you're
10
lovely,
minutes into
Amanda.
other people's future, then I could be a superhero who stops them getting murdered.
Yes, you could.
See, if I let everybody else look into the future, then I could kind of walk worry-free because everybody's always trying to be really careful not to die. And
Or I could be a supervillain and I could rob them.
I was
because
going
I
to
know
say,
they
if
won't
you
get
could see into
then
your
that-
own future, though, you could
Oh.
be a superhero or supervillain. You could never be shot.
if you stay home.
But what if somebody shoots me in 5 minutes?
Mm.
Well, it's a constant roll. 5 minutes ago, you would have known about it.
Well, what if I didn't close my eyes 5 minutes ago? Oh,
Okay,
but then I'd see
well,
myself dead, so I'd
If
know
you
that
could
something had happened.
change
Yes.
it, does that stop the clock? And second question, what if you fuck shit up while you're trying to change it within the 10 minutes? How does that affect the next 10 minutes?
Well, this is the problem. This is you're the 10 minutes into the future that you see is the 10 minutes if everything goes as it would have done.
Okay.
It would have been a better question if you'd asked, "What would you want to be able to once a day turn back your life 10 minutes?"
Yeah,
No,
yes,
you
I would.
No.
How many 10 minutes can there be in a day?
Why
No,
not?
no. Once a day, you're allowed to turn back your day by 10 minutes, remembering what had happened in the original.
Yeah, that'd be quite useful.
Yes,
I would go with that. That would be
A
fucking
mini
handy.
groundhog.
mini grand.
Although
mini
for
grab
most days, it would just be a case of, oh, I forgot to drink my cup of tea and now it's cold.
you really kick yourself if you were shot later that day.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Badger to have a good solid wank and
Use
then
that
rewind
10
himself
minute
10
power
minutes.
Which I hadn't used that 10-minute power to have hot tea again.
What did you say, Jeff?
What did I say? I can imagine Badger using his to have the same orgasm twice.
It was a really good one.
I like that, nerdy. Can you quickly explain how time works so that I can tailor my answer?
How?
Well, we got to in this fictional universe we're coming up with. Time works differently in different narratives.
Yes, this is the problem.
For the purposes of this, Math Pig, time is not deterministic.
No, you can change what happens.
So okay, so that's what I'm saying. If you could change what happens, right, and how much are you affecting the next 10 minutes? So how much, if nothing's determined, right, no time's determined, and you see something like you're gonna die, and you try to change that, how does that determine anything in the next 10-minute prediction?
Well, it would. I don't understand the question. I couldn't follow it.
All right, so time is not determined here, right?
Yeah.
And you're seeing every 10 minutes into the future every 10 minutes. And if you see something like you're going to die, it's your choice to try to change that. So in the process of changing that within those 10 minutes,
yeah,
how does that determine the next prediction?
Well, the next prediction would be with the affected timeline.
That's why I like mine better.
Yes.
What if I see something that is pretty good that I'm looking forward to, and I get so excited that I fuck up it happening in the process?
Yeah, that's possible.
So how does that affect
the problem is, Jen, with your scenario, you have to rewind the entire universe.
Yeah, but I like that one.
It feels like it would require more energy.
Yeah.
Maybe, but so what?
Be practical. We're trying to be realistic.
Exactly. Think in 10-minute intervals.
10-minute intervals. What happens if the flag time turns out to be 10 minutes?
Anyway, given the new study to do with orbiting black holes, where they've done a study on the state of 3 black holes orbiting each other and how much you can wind the time backwards and have it consistent, they've shown that the universe probably isn't deterministic.
Have they? I'd have to see that.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, there's too many random fluctuations in the universe for it to actually be possible for that even if you ran the same sequence again, it would be different.
But that just makes the universe totally random.
Right.
It doesn't make it totally random, but it makes it.
Well, that like you take it's the same idea if you take a deck of cards and you you shuffle them up every single time. It's always going to be different, no matter. I mean, obviously not forever and ever, but for as long you could do it for 10 years straight and keep doing it over and over again. And it would still be different every time. You change that one little thing, and it moves onward from there. So
yeah,
but what they actually
shuffle like I do.
If you wound time backwards from a given point, you would not actually end up back where you originally started.
Mm-hmm.
So the fluctuations within the universe mean that time is not reversible, which means the universe is not deterministic.
But we already knew that time symmetry was broken.
Yeah, time symmetry is broken, which
okay.
means
So then, getting back to the question, right? So if time is undetermined,
CPT.
What determines 10 minutes? If time
We
is not
do.
determined. Okay, so
There's no such thing as 10 minutes. It's arbitrary. If we were traveling 100,000 miles an hour, 10 minutes would be longer. To the rest of the universe, to us it'd be.
I get that. What I'm saying is okay. So back to the question for a second. If we were to be able to determine the next 10 minutes in a random situation that we're faced with, right? And we are the ones that are determining that particular time zone.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the ability to determine what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes, you decide to change that.
Yeah.
And say you fuck up in the process and die anyway, what sort of determinism does that apply?
Someone else, because I'm lost again.
So it's basically getting back to the deck of cards, right? You have options. Either the cards start going on the table. You try to match colors, shapes, whatever, numbers, and either side can determine what the rules are. But even if you lay the cards on the table and you call out the rules before they're turned over, there's no guarantee that what you're calling out is going to be what you call out, because that's what proves the randomness and the undeterministic.
No. In the scenario we're talking about, it is completely deterministic.
Okay, that was my question.
We got sidetracked into some physics.
Okay, cool. That's what I'm trying to get into. All right. So then, yeah, my shit, it remains the same.
In theory, nerdy, it's not possible to see into the future.
No, we don't know that. In theory, it is. In fact, no. Theoretically, we know it's possible.
We always move forward, and we can make predictions. So predicting the future is a possibility. No. It's moving backwards. That seems to happen.
Predicting is not the same as seeing.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to go. My head is completely
Yeah,
gone somewhere now.
Sorry,
no, not you. it's trying to follow Sal. Right,
I started that.
Okay, given that in this scenario, you can see 10 minutes into the future, but the time is our measurement of time is entirely arbitrary. If I were to redefine the word minutes to mean years momentarily, could I see 10 years into the future in this scenario?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Thank you. Right. Jeff says...
Good effort, Badger. Good effort.
Good effort. I could go into a branch of Paddy Power. Is it Paddy Power? Paddy Power, see 10 minutes into the future and bet appropriately. And money would no longer be an issue.
No. But that's the thing. If the state of the universe is completely in a random flux, even if you could see into that future, there's no guarantee that the future you see is actually the future that's going to happen.
The problem you've got...
Still the future you see.
Yes. Be the future you see, but it wouldn't necessarily be the future that happens.
You still don't know that the underlying... We know that you can turn around and say that the quantum fluctuations... How do we know that the quantum fluctuations are truly random?
Well, they appear to be.
Do they appear to be, from our perspective?
Experimentally, that seems to show to be.
But only based on the level of information we've got.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they might always appear random to us. That doesn't mean they are random.
And time symmetry may not be broken. We might be something we don't understand about it. But at the moment, all studies appear to show that it is.
No. I'm sure we knew that time symmetry was broken for a while. They rely. We're reliant. Say again?
They tend to show that the universe is not deterministic.
No, because we've still got the combination of them is still unbroken.
No, because to say time is deterministic, it would have to be deterministic in both directions, which means if you rewound time, you would have to go back to the point where it is for.
No, it doesn't to be deterministic.
When you rewind forward, you cannot guarantee that you're winding forwards of time after winding it back would end up in the same position that you were. So therefore, it is not deterministic.
No, because you could still have things again like black holes where information is lost.
That depends on the actual nature of a black hole.
It does. But what I'm saying is being able to do time reversal does not necessarily mean it is not deterministic. But I want to read that paper.
But if you're viewing someone ahead of time, or you're viewing whatever's going to happen to them or anybody at 10 minutes ahead of time, and they say any actions, any actions can change what happens, then just you viewing it's going to change it anyways.
Right.
Theoretically, yes, but within the context of what we're talking about, no. Apart from the fact I don't think it's possible for you to not act.
Of course, the thing to remember is this is actually Dave's fantasy scenario, and he can make up whatever physics rules he damn well likes.
Fair enough.
I think you're right, though. I think the fact that knowing... I question at some point. Knowing the future means you, and being able to change it means you almost certainly will.
Oh yeah, anything. Just
Yeah.
just knowing it and speaking of it, or just knowing it and you having knowledge of what's going to happen, even if it's nothing that has to do with that, you're gonna do something different
Okay.
because of what you know.
Okay, I completely
You have
forgot
more
the question. Okay, that's right. The question was your own future or someone else's future.
Oh right, someone else's.
So we
If
st-
it's
so it's
just a
someone
10-minute thing, someone else's, because then I can superhero that shit.
fair enough. So we're all someone else's.
Whereas my own is dull because it'll just be me working.
Yeah,
Over and over.
I'd rather
I might not ever do anything
think
if I see
myself do it.
my own future. I know myself too well, and I'd be like, yeah, I'd probably, yeah. I like interacting.
That would be exhausting though, because I just go around helping people. I know I would.
yeah.
God, I'd be tired.
I'd
wouldn't
rather
go to
do
work.
something than see myself doing it later. So I think other people is a sensible option.
You think
Yeah, but
also-
you could have a spoiler.
No, I like the
something.
randomness in my life. I like not knowing. I like just, yeah. I really enjoy it.
Unpredictability. Where do we go here? You finished it. Have you finished
But then
explaining the time?
it could still be useful and applied to me, because if somebody is going to be doing something with me in 10 minutes, I can see whether what they're going to be doing in 10 minutes
But
is
you've got
gonna
to
be
touch them.
enjoyable. I
you're-
can just slap them. I'll just give them a slap.
How are you going to touch the person that's going to shoot you?
I'll give them a slap.
How are you going to know who it is?
Because I can see 10 minutes in the future.
No,
Dave!
you can only see 10 minutes into their future
You have to touch them.
if you touch them.
Well,
Okay.
if someone's going to shoot me, I might be out somewhere, in which case I can touch someone else and they will see me get shot in 10 minutes.
So you're screwed if the.
Right there, Dave, you
No, he hasn't. So you're screwed. No, he's not. He's right. You're right. He's completely right.
Dave, the question. What was the beginning of the question again? Just the beginning.
Would you rather be able to see 10 minutes?
Stop. So it's up to me with you. It's up to me, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So in this scenario, time is deterministic to me with you because it's to me. Is it time deterministic to the other person
No, time is just deterministic.
in all around?
Yes.
All right.
Dave, if in your
Because
scenario,
it would
I'm
matter.
deterministic,
It would matter if time is deterministic to you, right? And whether you're seeing the future or not, if the person not affected is not living in that time zone, how predictable and how accurate is that seeing into the future?
Perfect.
By the way, Dave,
Yeah.
if in your scenario time is deterministic,
Yeah.
it's completely irrelevant being able to see into the future. All you do is get a glimpse into it and you can't change it.
Yes, you can, because you seeing it, it changes it. It is deterministic from the point at which you see
can
it.
determine it.
That's the point.
Okay.
You've got a loop back.
So-
That's
You-
not what deterministic time means, scientifically speaking.
no, you're right. But within the context of what we're talking about, yes, it does.
So if I was particularly worried that someone was out to shoot me, then I could, whenever I go out somewhere, make sure that I'm with someone so that I can touch them and see myself get shot in 10 minutes and then act against it.
Yes.
See them witness me being shot.
Yes.
Badger, just be
Whereas
honest.
if I'm not expecting to be shot and somebody just shoots me, then I'll be dead and I won't give a shit.
Badger, just be honest. You want a reason to be able to touch everyone.
No, I really don't. It would be really awkward. This would only be an emergency procedure.
I think he'd
I
keep.
would make sure that they were aware that this is why I'm touching them.
I think
You
Badger.
employ someone for the purpose.
I think Badger would keep a rat in his pocket.
Yeah, but then the rat would just see the inside of my pocket. 10
Yes, you
minutes
pull
from
it
now.
out every few
wouldn't-
minutes.
He does that anyway. Oh, sorry, I wasn't talking
You
about a rat.
leave what I do to my rat out of this.
This is great. Lovely. So, okay, never mind. I'm lost.
I'm going to. I think with the problem is, I think we've answered the question.
I like Nerdy's comment. I think you should have explained how this fictional universe works prior to asking the question.
Right. We would all want to
know
see.
what we like, Dave.
Yes, we're going. Okay. Right.
Next question.
No.
No!
We're done.
We
Done.
should do one more just for the sake of this particular question. It took forever.
It took forever. Wait, let me just quickly scan.
I think we should do one more.
See what we
think,
can.
I think we should have seen at the start of this. We should have looked 10 minutes into the future and realised that this question was going to cause some trouble.
Right.
You did